To the live line, a man who is jumping on a plane headed for Tampa, but this is no spring break. Dave Maetzold, you're looking forward to this next run, huh?
I am looking forward to it because everybody says the Jackets have no chance, and whenever you tell a team they've got no chance, anything can happen. You fire up a different type of motivation at that point.
No doubt about it. So, Dave, let's talk about how we got there, especially at crunch time. You know, all the people that thought we should have traded Bob, we should have traded the bread man. You got to be happy they were there because Bob's been standing on his head. And Panarin's the one that scored the goal that clinched, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right. They really stepped up when they needed to. The Jackets won 7 of their last 8, Joel, but it's that game that you're talking about at Madison Square Garden, a chance for the Jackets to clinch a spot, and who steps up? Artemi Panarin with a big goal in the third period and then the game winner in the shootout, and then Sergei Bobrovsky was unreal that night. So all of the guys who had all of the controversy swirling around them all season long, those are the two guys who finally have their names etched into that clinching game in New York.
You know, Dave, also, there was a certain crowd that was down on Panarin and, get rid of him, and he's not playing inspired hockey or whatever. And you look at what he did this season, set a franchise record for assists, franchise record for points. This guy's been really, really good all year. Now, what happens in the future, I don't know. But I do know they wouldn't be here without him.
No question about it. And excuse me while I chastise one of our media partners, which suggested booing Panarin every time he touched the puck earlier this season. What a ridiculous concept that was.
Yep.
When you look at what he was able to do, not by himself. Obviously, he played on a great line most of the season with P.L. Dubois and with Cam Atkinson and later with Matt Duchene when Duchene was acquired. But this guy's a special talent, led the team in points, as you suggested, and I look for him to ramp it up a little bit more here in the postseason. Yeah, he might be gone in July, but right now he's doing everything he can do to lead this team.
So you just look at this, Dave, and, you say not very many people give the Jackets much of a chance. I mean, you watch them. I mean, you're up close. You see all the stuff. You hear all the chatter. Who are they going to lean on? I mean, do you just keep leaning on Bob and the bread man? Is it some of those new guys? Or is it I'm trying to think about the Ohio State basketball, there was one point freshman takes the court.
Justin Arns, and came out of nowhere.
And puts up 29. So is it going to be that kind of story, or is it just going to be keep beating those guys that have been playing all year?
Well, certainly you have to lean on your top line guys. Panarin, Dubois, Atkinson, the team's leading goal scorer, of course. Josh Anderson is a guy. But here's another guy that I'm going to suggest who has really come on late, and that's Oliver Bjorkstrand. Mm-hmm. He's had a tremendous last run of the season, had a 6-game goal-scoring streak that was snapped in New York, and then he comes right back in Ottawa and scores a goal. He has found his touch. He has found his ability to score, and John Tortorella says it's because of the other things he's doing away from the puck. So our buddy Aaron Portzline at The Athletic put it so eloquently last week. He said, he's kind of like Mr. Bill. He gets smashed in the corner. He takes an unbelievable hit in the corner. You think he's done. He gets up. Oh, no! And he adjusts his helmet, and he goes and scores a goal. He's like Mr. Bill.
What about, Dave, this Alexander Texier kid? Scored his first goal on Saturday against Ottawa, and Torts, after the game, was asked about the players. Oh, he's playing. What does he bring to the table?
He brings a maturity that belies his years. I mean, think about this. He spent most of the season in the Finnish league playing against older men. I mean, he's a teenager. He was playing against men in that league. He comes over here. He plays 7 games for the Cleveland Monsters, has 7 points, 5 goals for the Cleveland Monsters, and then, by the way, makes his NHL debut at Madison Square Garden in a game in which his team can clinch a playoff spot, and he's unfazed by it. He said he wasn't nervous at all. The only thing that made him nervous was when he, when rookies play their first game, they take that celebratory lap in warm-up. He said that's the only thing he was nervous about because he was out there by himself. But he is an unbelievably mature kid. Again, belying his 19 years on the planet. He's going to be a guy that you could watch, and all of a sudden nobody's expecting him to do anything, and here he comes. He's got a great shot. He's fast. He's tough. All the things that Torts likes.
Dave Maetzold, our guest, talking Blue Jackets hockey. Playoffs commence. David, you mentioned Coach Tortorella. So when you get to playoffs versus regular season, does his message change at all? Does it become a little more intense or a little bit more like now's the time, or does he just keep doing what he does?
It's really interesting, and it's a great question, Joel. One of the things that Torts has said during this last push is, during the season, it's kind of the coach on the players all the time, nagging them, getting on them, benching them when they're not playing well. As you get closer and closer to the end of the season and on into postseason, it's more of a, hey, we're all in this together thing. We're in this together. It's the coaching staff and it's you guys. It's not as much riding them. It's not as much, coaching them and trying to motivate them. He knows this is the fun time of year, and they're all in this together. You need something from me, you come to me. I need something from you, I come to you. It's an interesting philosophy switch. And Torts has won this thing. He won it with Tampa Bay. He took the Rangers to the finals, so it's not like he's a stranger to this stuff.
I got to ask you, Dave, how important in your mind is Game 1? The Jackets played these guys 3 times this year. They got outscored 17-3. We know all about Tampa. I mean, they had a historic season. 62 wins, ties an NHL record. 3 guys scored more than 40 goals. They might have the Vezina winner as their goalie. I mean, they've got everything. I just feel like if the Jackets, obviously winning would be great, but if they get hammered again, I just wonder if it kills the will that early, even though it's the playoffs. Do you feel a sense that they've got to, hopefully win, but at least be competitive and push them right away? Or is it a long series and it's easy to just compartmentalize a loss no matter how it is?
No, I think they've got to have success early because they know what they're up against. And they're going to say all the right things, but they know exactly what they're up against. When Torts was asked about facing Tampa, he goes, "Are you looking forward to the challenge?" He said, "Damn right." Then he emphasizes again, "Damn right I am. I'm ready to go." That's the attitude they've got to have. And I will point back to the last appearance of Tampa at Nationwide Arena. In the first period of that game, the Jackets absolutely dominated play. And they kept the puck in their offensive zone. They were all over Vasilevsky. That's exactly what they needed to do. Now, Tampa went on and won the game, I realize. But the potential for this team to skate and play right with them was seen on the ice at Nationwide Arena. They've got to put together 3 periods like that in Game 1. And, man, if they could steal one down there, then all of a sudden the rest of the NHL is looking to see what happens.
Right. Well, they've been good on the road, though. They were good on the road there all year, and they were good on the road last year during the playoffs. So yep. I'm not saying I'm expecting they come home 1-1, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Right. You're exactly right. They took those first 2 in Washington last year. And, look, all of the drama of the regular season is over. All of that stuff that they had to drag along across the finish line to get in the postseason, all of that is over. Now they can play free, easy, play as underdogs, which sometimes is easier. All the pressure's on Tampa to win this thing,
yep.
And that might make a difference too.
Good stuff. We'll be watching, my friend. Dave Maetzold, Jackets at Lightning, Fox Sports Ohio, Wednesday night, 7. Game 2, same deal, 7 o'clock. Then they come home. Games Sunday and next Tuesday. Time for a Go Jackets from News Radio 610 WTVN. There you go, Mr. Bill. We're going to keep an eye for Mr. Bill when it comes to the Jackets, too, no doubt.